Hello, this is Paresh, and today I will be covering random samples and population. There are four key words we need to know. Population, the entire group of objects or individuals considered for a survey. Sample, a part of the population. Random sample, a sample in which each individual or object in the population has an equal chance of being selected. Bias sample, a sample that does not accurately represent a full population. Let's find out the difference between random samples and bias samples. Roberto wants to know the favorite sports of adults in his hometown. He surveys 50 adults at a baseball game. This sample is biased. Why? Because he interviews them at a baseball game. If you interview someone at a specific game and ask what their favorite sport is, most of the time they will say that the sport you are watching is their favorite game, because otherwise they wouldn't spend their money to come and buy tickets to watch the game. Therefore, 50 adults at a baseball game will not accurately represent the full population for Roberto's survey. Paula wants to know the favorite type of music for her students in her class. She puts the name of all her students in a hat, draws 8 names, and surveys those students. This is a random sample because every person in the population has an equal chance to be selected. Where could this go wrong and become a biased sample? This is where the difference between random samples and biased samples are. As soon as I add a specific group, like say the woodwind section, if she was in a music class, of course, now automatically the sample becomes biased because now we are asking specific people from the class rather than asking the class as a whole. Therefore, this does not accurately represent all of the population. Let's try some examples. A gaming website wanted to know which consoles its visitors own. Which choice best represents the population? A. Visitors to the 3DS section. B. All of the visitors at his website. C. Visitors to the PS4 section. Or D. Visitors who are on the website for more than 5 minutes. Right away, we can take out 3DS and PS4. Because it is a specific sample of all of the population, it does not accurately represent all of them. Now, let's check the other two options. You may think that if they're over 5 minutes, it will accurately represent the population because most of the people may spend over 5 minutes and may actually end up answering the survey. But that is where you are wrong, because it still becomes a specific part of the population. Because if one person decides to go on the website for at least 1 minute or less, their voice cannot be heard throughout the population. Therefore, all of the people need to be included in the survey for it to be an accurate representation. B is correct. Let's try another one. A mayor wanted to see if his people in the town thought he was doing a good job. Which choice best represents the sample? A, 1,000 unemployed voters. B, his family. C, the residents of the town. Or D, 242 voters. Now automatically we can take out the unemployed voters and his family. Why? Because the unemployed voters may think he's doing a bad job because they are unemployed and they don't have a job to work at. So they have no source of income and therefore may be angry at the mayor about what he does. Therefore, we must take out 1,000 unemployed voters. His family would also be very biased because they're his family and would give good remarks about him. Therefore, his family is also out of the question. Now we are left with the residents of the town and 242 voters. At first, you may lean towards the residents of the town because they end up being the whole population. But when this question was given, they asked which choice best represents a sample, not the whole population. Therefore, 242 voters is the correct answer. So today, we have learned that all samples have to be random for them to properly represent the population. And also, we shouldn't have biased samples. We should also make sure if a question is asking about a population or a sample,